Rams are just showing a lot of prowess on this Rasmus pick, and Rios is actually a very well-known Rasmus as well, so she'll have to contest him on that pick with this Kai forward. Extremely popular as of late, the Kai forward, the map picks. Oh,
Ooh.
that is quite unfortunate.
I lost track of which Asher was the goalie there, actually.
The orange goalie. The orange one is the goalie.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, the primary doesn't quite land on Ramspooch's Whiplash, and he finds the goal to open us.
Ooh,
But
nice kill, though, on Jack's Shrew.
The Atlas forward, the Iron Spear. But Ramspooch answers one gate, is traded for another. Let's see if Cloudburst can open this goal. A notoriously hard act on Oni Village. But an obstacle they'll have to overcome if they want to get the better of them. Oh,
just too late on the core flip by a smidge.
Unfortunate. The Atlas, or the Asher forward, was able to win out on that one. The secondary of Moths barely doesn't connect. And the flip is the same.
I really like the pass game on Auburn.
Auburn definitely has a lot of synergy between their forwards, which is what you need with this Asher. Such low mobility on such a big map as Oni Village. Definitely needs a little bit babysitting from her midfielder. And the same can be said about this Atlas forward. Definitely will need the Kai's help to get on this ball, but very deadly once they're on it. Good job by Viper to take that barrier.
Oh, and on that chain stun, securing the goal.
Very well played pass splitter. Managed to double hit. And we'll have to see how this draft pans out. This could be very scary. Things can snowball very quickly on Oni Village with speed.
What do you think you go here on Rasmus? I'm looking at Chrono Booster Perfect, maybe. I'll build diff.
Yeah, usually you put size here. So Rasmus has some neat interactions where his hitboxes get bigger with size. So he'll want to go a bit different there and deny Moth the size. Everyone else takes fairly standard picks. We got a Spark, we have Perfect Form, we have 1-2. Nothing too notable outside of that build different though. Look for Ramspooch to make good on those larger hitboxes. Ramspooch with a nice combo for the first barrier. It is the first barrier on Onis though. And the big test right now is will Rios and Jax be able to link up for these two barriers. It's extremely hard with an Atlas goalie, but that is the challenge they face.
Some nice defending coming out of Mothoni though. Viper's getting low. Oh, just barely doesn't secure that.
A very good hold, but enough tries and Viper will find the net. Very well played from them. A strike war, and an ability comes down. And that is all she wrote for that goal. And one thing I want to highlight is this. If things get too snowbally, the levels will start to...
Ooh, nice double lock on the Atlas Expanse from
That was a gorgeous expanse.
And then he finds it, he just slides it right between both of them.
What a power play from Jax. Double barriers with the expanse and then just threads the needle straight through two people in the net. It was not enough. Oh.
That was an unlucky miss on the strike.
Just an unfortunate mechanical error. There's nothing wrong with that hook, just barely doesn't find the left click. And now Cloudburst is managing to keep the ball in the offensive half for the first time in this game, mounting a lot of offensive pressure.
Rios getting low.
Very low. But
one hook ends in core flip on right Viper.
On the Atlas ulti comes down.
Ooh.
Oh wow, what a combo from Viper. Oh, and another hook. Yep. This will be very difficult to hold from Moth.
Oh my god.
Oh, but she holds. One teammate comes back up, and the other comes back up.
But forcing it through with the pendulum swing.
There just barely wasn't enough time for the respawned people to get in position. That's something you'll see very often. Is that there's an extra 1 or 2 seconds effective death timer on people because it takes a while for them to get where they need to be. Good hold from Mott to keep that last barrier. Uses the pass splitter to keep the flip off of her. Expanse gets burned from the goalie Atlas. And Jax takes the first
finds
barrier.
the angle. A little early on the core flip, but manages to trade barriers.
Yeah, that was very well played from Moth. Let's see if she can survive all this pressure, though. There's so much damage coming down on her. Gorgeous clear, and Rios intercepts that pass. That was very good positioning. Oh.
Almost a goal
Rios
on that.
tried to play sniper. Oh, unfortunate. Moth dives with the secondary, barely doesn't find the core, and then gets hooked out of position for it. Good punish. Let's see.
Another size awakening.
This is quite unfortunate. Rasmus with the double sizes hitboxes are huge, and Asher, having not gotten any sizes, is going to be very hard for her to contest, but she did pick up the rapid fire. Her best anti-step tool.
Is that the first spark for Kai? It is. I remember seeing the, what was it, the shield in the previous round. I wasn't sure if the Kai got it then.
It is indeed the first spark for Rios. That is 2 sparks for Tiger Slasher though. But with no agility spark, it likely won't do a ton for this Atlas. Biggest one of note is the CDR. There. Oh, that's a tragedy.
That was unlucky.
Unfortunate lag, but a very beautiful pass splitter from Viper. Sections off the goalie from that core, and there's nothing she could do there. Hopefully we don't have any more latency issues. Otherwise this will be very hard to defend.
Oh, that hook hit him, but he was standing right on the edge, so it ended up killing him anyways, even though it doesn't pull him towards the edge of the map there. That was just unlucky.
That's very interesting, because I believe there was a bug fix aimed at fixing knockback killing if it doesn't go towards the blast zone. But maybe he was so close to it that it managed to do it there. Oh, what a hold from Moth. Cycles the primary and the secondary to cover that flip.
Some nice job clearing it down. We're getting it towards the other lock consistently here. Core flip breaks the lock.
The point blank flip is too much for Moth to hold.
Rios almost goes down there.
Oh, good hold from Moth again, and just barely doesn't find the core. Sneeze up just a little too far. Wanted to cover that top side.
Atlas Prey, let's see if the comeback is in the works for Cloudburst here.
Cloudburst has definitely shown many signs of greatness in this game. They just need to piece it together just the slightest bit better. Jax has shown up. Moth has held wonderfully. Oh no.
I think that's another lag. But some good sportsmanship, not capitalizing on it.
That was very nice from Auburn. Oh, but the Asher pass splitter comes down. There was very little Moth could have done there. Good second goalieing from Rios. Covers the angle that Moth couldn't.
Ooh, Jaxru just barely doesn't find the angle on getting the lock there.
Yeah, this Atlas, notorious on Oni Village. The CEC land from Barcode, the legendary hold. It's so hard to break this character. Such indomitable
nice clear there on Moth Honey.
Jax using the core flip to dribble. That was very creative. Barely doesn't find the connection on the barrier though. And it's just a battle between these goalies Who can win this war of attrition and hold?
Rios
Wonderful
intercepts the
intercept from
hook,
Rio.
but then the pendulum swing secures it. 2 size awakenings, just really hard to outposition against.
Look at that size difference between Rasmus and Asher. Extremely hard to hold. But well played from Auburn. And that game was difficult. It was Oni Village. The awakening snowballed very quickly in terms of the Rasmus compared to the Asher. So we'll have to see how Cloudburst can make up for that, if they can stop the bleeding, or will Auburn be able to extend their lead. It is a best of 3s, so Cloudburst is absolutely not out of it. But they'll have to go to the drawing board for a bit.
Let's see if they can rethink the strategy for the next set.
Definitely. I do very much like the Kai pick, though. I wanted to highlight that because Rio, noted for the Kai and the Rasmus, decides to go with the Kai here. And Kai is very notable on Oni Village, considered probably the second best midfielder on that map behind the Estelle.
It was a good pick, it just didn't work out, unfortunately.
And that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes when you go back to the drawing board, you look at the drafts, you look at the awakenings, but sometimes you just have to connect the dots just a little bit sharper. And that might have been what happened in that game. Very tough job for Rios in these games to be able to find the Atlas. But if she can, the Atlas is extremely good at converting on those chances. Especially with that Atlas in the net, so notoriously difficult to get through. Every forward knows how incredibly difficult it is to get through.
Iron wall, as they say.
Absolutely. The iron wall that is Atlas is hard to pierce. You can't kill him, usually, and you can't force through his cooldowns. You just have to bait them out. And slowly you'll win that war of attrition with his very long cooldowns. What do you think Cloudburst needs to do if they want to start and claw their way back into this one?
I think they definitely got to focus on that pass game between their forwards. On the side of Auburn, they always had control of the ball, especially early on, and that gave them an early level lead that kind of snowballed. Not only it caused them to win the draft, it also caused them to get just straight levels, hit their level 2 first, it let them hit level 3 first, things like that, and it let them get a little bit of snowballing advantages that just kind of gave the whole set. I think if they can manage to keep the ball in their possession, at least for the first set, it'll likely look a lot better for them.
Definitely. Cloudburst definitely got off to a slower start. And then they started to slowly but surely try and claw their way back. But once they were trying, those size awakenings came down and make the comeback very difficult. Especially in a matchup as size dependent as the Erasmus forward and the Asher forward into another Asher goalie. Those size breakpoints mean everything. They can decide entire games if you're not careful. So I think Cloudburst, like you said, needs to come up to a little bit of a quicker start. And definitely we need to connect on Rios and Jax. It's difficult for the Kai to kind of play that core control game once they don't have level 2. Rasmus gets a lot of influence with that hook, with that whiplash, compared to the Kai.
Yeah, it can be harder to find a good place to use the Kai Blast.
And for a large part of that first set, I don't believe Rio had access to that Giga Blast. It was only till the second goal or so when she ticked level 2. So let's see. I wonder if she's considering switching back to the Rasmus. But I think her Kai performance was more than enough to consider picking it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's really easy to get scared, though. You think, oh, maybe the pick wasn't worth it, or maybe I'd be more comfortable on my main. But confidence is key in these kind of bracket situations.
Definitely depends on the map too. We might see, like, if an IME's app comes out, we might even see Rasmus banned.
Absolutely. Both of these teams, I believe, show a lot of priority on the Rasmus, with Rio and Ramsbluge. I believe Ramsbluge has played the Rasmus in week 1, if my memory does not fail me.
I think so as well, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was not able to go back and look, but I did take a look at the core strikes, and it is a very notable Rasmus. There's quite a bit of games on it. So a lot of both of these teams will be eyeing that pick, especially if we fall on something like Aimi's. But even things like the Inkies, the Oni Village, Rasmus shows a lot of prowess on those big open maps where he gets a lot of room to play with.
Agreed.
And same thing with that Kai. I got a chance to look at the core strikes. The scorer from Auburn, Viper, has a pretty wide pool. I don't think there's necessarily a power pick from them, if I was mistaken. Actually, no, I lied. Their Zentaro is their most notable character. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't pick it on Oni Village, actually, but the Asher
Yeah.
performed extremely well.
Do you think there are better maps for Zentaro? I feel like Oni Village is fairly good for him.
So Zentaro, he is a quite versatile character. Not the best scorer out of all of them, but definitely very high in core control and mobility, and known for his damage. So Zentaro on a map like Oni Village wouldn't be able to showcase his damage. There's a lot of open space, people aren't very clumped up, and there was an Atlas and an Asher, both very defensive characters. Um, but Zen does fare very well in Oni Village in the scoring department, has a lot of that mobility with the II rush, and with the Zen ulti that can come down. But maybe they just wanted that score, that raw scoring power that the Asher provides. He was very good at converting his chances, especially on those open nets. On the second barrier of Oni's, Moth was doing a good job holding, but once that goal opens up, the Asher has a very, very hard time.
Mm-hmm. One of the best characters to just force the ball through.
Absolutely. That tiny gold barrier, she has a lot of dominance. You can't really go through her primary or her ult. But that huge goal mouth is extremely hard to cover with only a small dash. And that game, if you caught it, Auburn actually banned Dubu, which is surprising if you look at Moth's core strike, because she is actually a very notable Luna player. It's by far her most high representation on her core strike.
Well, that
Do you have
being
any?
said, Dubu was the only thing I believe Moth picked in the entirety of the sets last week.
You are correct. Yes, she played Dubu all 3 games in their match versus Leo Leon and the rest of week 1. So maybe they studied the VODs. Auburn did a little bit of research for this game, perhaps.
Target banning that Dubu, the big consistent pick.
Dubu is a very consistent pick. Has risen with the meta as the game has gone. The evolution of Ice Skate's Dubu and his just ability to both hold and walk up with that ult for offensive pressure. There's hardly ever a situation where Dubu looks like a bad pick. And Auburn wants to take away some of that versatility. Mm. That's up to Meowsy, I think. Does she want to jump in? We could also
It's Meowsy.
Welcome back to the cast.
Thank you for having me. Fashionably late, of course, because I'm a celebrity. That's how we do, But I come bearing lizard facts. All right.
Mhm.
Did you know that they can camouflage sometimes? Yeah, they can.
Oh, wow.
They
Is
can.
that
It's
how
pretty
Jakar
cool.
goes invisible?
Exactly. That is the exact method. Yes. Yes.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be seeing any Drukars.
Sad.
Actually, if my
One can
memory
dream.
What?
does not fail me, I don't believe a Drukar is going to come out. But you can always be surprised. Night Market is a very notable map for him that we haven't seen
That's
yet.
true.
Any predictions for the map we're about to get? Or any maps you want to see?
Night Market Jakar.
Night Market Jakar. Yeah, that's really it. Oh, Atlas Lab with the Jakar with the Vambrace. That's always that's a favorite of mine.
Why is
Personal
that?
favorite of yours.
Well, because sometimes you play against your haters on that map, and you gotta show them with your Jakar with the Vambrace. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is not a personal anecdote. This is completely objective commentary. That's right.
Absolutely.
Someone in chat is asking, is Jakar a chameleon then? I'm gonna have to refer you to a search engine for that. I don't have that fact. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we do not have a zoology consultant on the desk, but
That's
perhaps one of you all can Google and get back to us.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't do my research that much. I'm sorry.
Have to put chat to work for that one.
Exactly. Yeah, do your own homework. Yeah.
I mean, no,
Chad is great.
I will point out one map that hasn't been said that Moth is a notable fan of compared to the community. Gates of Obscura.
That's right. I saw that one last week. It was pretty intense. The defending.
Very complicated map. Those portals can send the core every which way, and it's gotten a lot of heat from the community. Not a lot of people are fans of that map. But Moth is a very notable enjoyer of it. And now we're queuing in. Let's see what we roll and what kind of comps we're going to see for this second game. Oni Village
Another
again.
Oni Village.
Oh wow. I wonder if any of the teams will change their draft strategy.
Rasmus Mirror, potentially.
Yeah, maybe Rios wasn't feeling the kite.
And Estelle ban. So tall. Of course she has to be banned.
Such a looming presence on Oni Village too.
That's right. Oh, maybe an Asher ban though.
We split the bans and we take out the Asher, which Moth played in game 1.
Estelle goalie.
Estelle goalie. Oh, so tall.
Oh wow, this is a huge change from Moth. Going from that hold Asher defensive style to potentially this very aggressive offensive pick.
Kai goalie?
Oh no. Oh, Kai. Oh.
Moth really showing her versatility here. What is she going to go with? And we
She's
end up
locking
locking
it
in
in.
the Kai. Oh wow. This is a big shakeup from Cloudburst, but when you're facing a 0-2 in this set, it makes a lot of sense, especially with losing game 1 on this very map. You oftentimes want to change something just for the sake of adding some freshness to this game that you didn't see in game 1.
Eject button Kai on the side of Auburn.
Strike shot from Moth. And we see an Octavia come out with Siphoning Wand. This is a very curious pick. Not something
Double
I have
healing.
personally ever seen.
Double lifesteal build.
Indeed. The tempo swing and the Vambrace, or the wand, excuse me. Not something Octavia's known for in the damage department. Usually that reward is given over to her twin, Vice. Let's see what this Octavia can make. She doesn't get to start with any of her speed trainings or her quick strikes. So this Octavia will be a looming presence, always ready to scale,
When a
but a beautiful
beautiful
nice.
hail of thorns just securing that goal.
So beautiful,
Very
so
well
tall.
played. And if we're not mistaken, it's actually Tiger Slasher on the Estelle. Auburn has made a roster swap in terms of their goalie and forward positionings.
Very good observation. I didn't notice that till just now.
I wonder if this is something that they are practicing for later weeks, or if this is something they've had in the works for a long time. But it is working out quite
And
well for them.
A goal precisely where Viper on crit planned.
Absolutely.
Right off of that opening barrier.
This game is a matter of two very conflicting Oni Village styles. The Kai, Octavia,
Jax
and
True
the Estelle.
catching that core flip.
And then Rios managing to snipe the second barrier. That's a beautiful combination from Cloudburst. Let's see, now that they open the goals first, if they can convert. The ball finds Jax, isn't able to connect on the dribble, and Rio gets it back up. Cloudburst managing the first extended offense they've had in this game. But what a core
Perfect
flip.
angle on that core flip by Tiger.
That was truly a gorgeous core flip. And now Rios is taking a lot of heat in this midfield. I wonder if the Atlas ulti will come down or if we're going to save it. And there it goes. Cloudburst still looking to mount their offense. Oh, but the barrage is just not true. Unfortunately manages to sneak by. And let's see, Octavia, thankfully for Cloudburst fans and unfortunately for our fans, does not top deck the draft.
I think
We'll have
Estelle's
to see.
gotta take aerials here, right?
Or
Maybe missile prop.
But aerials I
those.
also like.
So we'll see if either team realizes it. Moth does. The quick strikes, incredibly powerful tool for that Octavia. Lets her keep that stacks up on her secondary that is sniped away. But
Missile prop
Estelle,
denies away from the Kai there.
very
on
well
the part
done
of
from
Atlas.
Jax. It also works on his primary. It's a pretty good scoring addition to his repertoire. Let's see if he can make good on it. But definitely, we've managed to stall the Octavia stalling, or the scaling. Oh, and what a kill from Rios.
Finds the
Hail Baker
pendulum swing
intentional.
right in the edge of the map there.
Very well done. This Octavia spawns back. Cloudburst got a lot of offense from the power play, but wasn't able to find this last barrier.
Unfortunate
well
missed
played from
ult on the part of Octavia.
Missed by 2 centimeters.
Cast a
I
little
actually
bit
want to-
before that speed boost ran out.
Moth actually popped the blazing pace to get away from that one, kited it. Very
Good
well
play.
played from Moth. Using the strike shot also extremely well.
But Viper wins the strike war.
Very well played from Viper. And this really is a matter of a dominant amount of core control, both in the draft and in-game from Auburn. But the conversion ability of Rasmus and Atlas is so incredibly high that we'll have
Ooh.
to see which one works.
Barely 2 centimeters off from where Tiger Slasher. Viper
Oh,
just
wow.
converts it with a follow-up core flip though.
Viper has been deadly with these flips. And the flip manages to eat the Rasmus ulti too. Rios did her best to try and snipe it out.
Jax True without the ultimate right now. No living on this. Just have to stay in the middle of the field for a while.
He's getting pelted with abilities, but manages to get the core flip. Can they use it, or will they die trying? There's a massive target on this Atlas's back to get him before he's able to pop this core flip. But Rios manages to take the barrier. Maybe they can use this flip to try and convert on the goal. Jax elects not to pop it. And it's popped there to get forward pressure. The Atlas still taking quite a bit of pressure, but the Atlas ulti should be coming up soon, I believe. And there it goes. Timed
perfect
well
timing.
with those ultis. And then manages to live even after the Atlas ulti runs out. Lots of blinking health bars on Cloudburst and no Atlas ulti to save them. Will they be able to survive?
Ooh, and that
Ramsus manages to take out
Giga
one. It's just Jax in the forward position, and there's another one down. But only a couple seconds on the respawn timer. Oh, what a
Nice core flip
Moth.
from Moth, honey.
Oh, barely cannot find the strike, though. I imagine Cloudburst is really looking to try and kill this flip on Octavia, but it goes through. They couldn't manage to get her in time. And now Cloudburst against the wall in set 2. This set could be extremely pivotal in making sure this Octavia cannot scale any further than she has. Good first barrier, combining with the Giga from Moth. Another flip popped. Oh, and
Patient core flip pays
delay.
off on the part of Tiger. And then the single Crystal
the single
Thorn.
Crystal Thorn. We love to see it. So tall.
What a connection from Auburn. He manages to snipe the barrier with the patience. And then connecting with the Octavia ulti. Let's see. Chrono Boost is on the board. But with Octavia at last pick, it should not go through. Rapid Fire, also another notable pick taken by Ramsplooge. Let's see who elects to deny the Chrono Boost or if it will go through to the Octavia. And it's Rios that manages to take it. So Octavia is quite the killer, though.
1-2 punch with both those lifesteal awakenings.
We'll have to see. This is looking to shape up to be a vampire in the forward position. Not something Octavia is known for, but Viper is making it work. I wonder if this is something, a new pick in the making.
Really pushing the meta there.
Perhaps. Octavia is quite good on this map, though. Might be one of her strongest now that Aten City has been taken out of the pool. Atlas ulti comes down to save the blinking health bars of Cloudburst. And Moth is trying to hold versus this terrifying Octavia. The ulti comes down and Moth is able to hold through the ult. But the beam comes through. What a play.
That was a nasty piercing shot. I didn't even see it coming.
Auburn's game plan is very high conversion despite these low shoving characters. They have the Octavia forward harassing Moth. And then the Estelle can just come through and just snipe the goal from anywhere. Especially with this aerials. Oh, doubles from Jax though.
Precisely aimed Giga Blast though.
Moth barely without an elusive here, but manages to get it with that orb. And manages to grab
nice
another.
Nice dribbling there. Buying time.
Oh, what a hook from Rio. Barely doesn't connect on the strike. And we managed to stop a flip of Vipers. Been so deadly with these flips. And now there's a lot of low health bars on the side of Auburn. Perhaps we can convert on them. Or this lifesteal might be too much. But the ice knives come out from Tiger Slasher, sniping this second barrier. And Viper manages to get the better of Moth. Cloudburst truly facing set point in this game. Let's see if the comeback can start from the absolute brink. Or if Auburn will cement themselves as an 0-2 team. When they were a little counted out at the start of the season, I don't believe they were mentioned in the top 10 or even the top 20, but this is looking to be a very strong team.
At least their Oni village is looking really solid.
Extremely. I'm not aware of what they managed to get in week 1, but Ramsblues, with that eject button, just walks all the way up with that blazing pace and manages to fire in the goal. Extremely well played.
GG's.
Auburn cementing themselves as a very good core control team, managing to land Oni Village both games. We'll have to see how far they can go in the Swiss and if they convert this great start to the season once we head into playoffs. And Cloudburst are not out of it yet. They are 1-1 in the standings with their win last week. So looking very good in the standings as well as a team. If I am not mistaken, top 24 gets to make it into playoffs, and there are 56 teams in CCL. So if my math is correct, you should only have to go 3-3 to be able to make playoffs.
Already a third of the way there.
Absolutely.
The lizard mask coming out.
Very well played from Auburn, and a very well fought match from Cloudburst. They were definitely trying till the very end. They were connecting. Jax found some very pivotal double barriers, but they just weren't able to sync up for the amount of consistency that Auburn was bringing. These matches, especially Oni Village, where you can get such long drawn out points, they're more of a marathon than a sprint. And Auburn came out swinging. Now that we've managed to see Auburn, how far do you think they'll be able to manage in CCL? Making quite the upset story in the bracket.
I think their core control gameplay is definitely very solid. I have a hard time assessing how they would perform with other comps on other maps, but due to them being able to pull out two drastically different drafts on Oni, like with the Octavia pick there, I think they'll probably fare fairly well.
I would have to agree. In this state of the game that we're in, with the removal of Demon Dias and Aten subbing in for Obscura and Inky's, core control is actually a quite dominant meta. This patch was largely focused on adding damage to the game with Centauro and Vice buffs. So we'll have to see if this core control meta can serve Auburn, or if we're going to shift into a damage meta that they are yet unproven in, but could still be very strong in. Their core strikes do show Vice, Luna, and Centauro very notable damage comp characters, so maybe they're just as deadly on everything. We'll look to see more from this team. Well, I will say, thank you all for having me. It's my
Thank you
first
for
time
joining.
casting.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Thank you. And thank you for watching, everybody.
And
Look
remember,
to see-
everyone, make sure you wait till your soup cools before you eat it. Thank you.
Very, very true. Helpful life lessons. And look to come back next week as Cloudburst will be taking on their round 3 opponent in the Swiss. 1-1 in the standings. Look to see them try and bounce back. These Swiss tournaments are not necessarily about winning every match in front of you. They're about consistency. And so we'll look to see if Cloudburst can bring it back.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Absolutely.